Hi guys and welcome back to my channel. So this week I figured, since it is kind of now like that transition from fall into winter time, I was going to go ahead and show you guys what I've been doing for my fall winter makeup look, because it has been different from what I've been doing since my last makeup tutorial, which I think was like my spring everyday makeup look. So that is different from what I'm doing now. So I feel like this makeup look would be perfect for parties or just like Thanksgiving or Christmas Day or something, because it is natural, so it's not like a full-on glam look, but it's a little bit more deeper tones, I guess I would say, than just like my spring makeup look. So I'm gonna go ahead and jump into that. All right, first off, primer. I've been using this e.l.f. poreless putty primer for the past, I'd say, few months, and it goes on like a little putty. Like you just kind of like use your fingernails to put it in, and it's supposed to be a dupe to the Tatcha water primer, no, the Tatcha luminous silk primer, and I haven't bought that, so I can't say if it's an exact dupe because it's $54. So this one is $8, and I personally think it works really well as a primer. I do wedding makeup and event makeup, so first off, if you're in the Orlando, Central Florida area, hit me up for that, for weddings. But I've been using it on all my brides. Like I just did a wedding the past 2 weekends, and their skin looked so good with this on, because it really just kind of fills in the pores, but it doesn't make your skin get all flaky or dry out, because I feel like that, I think it's Benefit or something, Professional primer, that makes my skin flake a lot, and it makes my clients' skin flake, and their foundation doesn't always look settled. So this has been a great and cheaper alternative. This is only $8, so I've been loving this recently. Alright, and then after I finish my primer, I go in with my favorite. I've honestly been using this since the summertime, the Clinique Even Better Skin, and I use the shade Alabaster because I'm getting more pale, but like, what's new? And this is, I feel like, a little bit warmer than my actual skin tone, but it's not too warm to where I look orange. It just kind of gives color to my face, and it blends into my neck really easy. But I'm gonna go ahead and just put this on. I use this fluffy, dense brush to put it on. This is by Albeit, but they discontinued this line, so I will link another big fluffy brush for you guys. But this is what I've been using for foundation. Okay, now that I have the foundation on, I really like how this lays. Like, it just goes on looking like skin, and it's not sticky, like it doesn't come off on your fingers, and I love this foundation so much, and it's only like 25 bucks, so score. All right, but next is eyeshadow, and this is it's like a lighter look than I've been doing, or simpler, yet at the same time, it's like not. I don't know. All I know is that I've been using this because I just needed something quick to do, and I ended up loving it and have been doing it for weeks now. So it's this individual matte color in like this kind of like just basic brown. And now that I'm looking at it, it doesn't even have a color on the bottom of it. So probably won't be able to link this one. I hope that doesn't make me a bad influencer not being able to link something. Whoops. But basically, I just kind of go in and barely tap it. You can just use any basic lighter brown, almost clay color. And I'm just very lightly just going in my crease back and forth and back and forth. And I start more centralized in my crease where I want the color to be. And then as I kind of know where I want it, I kind of go a little bit higher, and just with whatever's left on the brush, I just kind of blend up to my brow bone. Okay, now that I have both eyes done, I very lightly tap it again and just kind of go over my lid. And I don't even do a lot. It's just to get the colors to blend smoothly, but the main part of this color is going to be just more on the upper lid. Alright, next, I'm going to use this Bare Minerals loose powder in the color Caramel Delight, or caramel? I don't know. Everybody says it differently. I've always said caramel. That's because everyone in North Carolina says caramel. So, but I'm going to take this. It's like a shimmery shade-ish. It's like basically the same color as the other brown. A little bit lighter, but it has shimmer to it. And I'm just going to do that on the center part of my lid. And and maybe put a little bit kind of on the inner part of my lid. And I feel like this is what makes it look like a more fall winter look, because it's not like I'm putting a light color on my lid and the dark color in my crease. It's almost like it's like making it nice and deep, where I have almost just as dark of a color on my lid as I do in my crease. And so after I just did the shimmerish part on my lid, I just went back over with this color in my crease again, just to kind of keep blending it out. And that's why I love this look too, is like you can just make it kind of whatever you want. You don't have to follow the exact thing every time. You can still get a similar look, and you can kind of almost be messy with it. Like you don't have to look super precise in where you blend your colors, because I'm just gonna dabbing this wherever on the lid and putting the other stuff just wherever in the crease. All right, next we just have one more step for the eyeshadow, and you can use a dark brown. I either use, as you guys know, I love my Lorac Pro palette. I either just use the shade called dark brown, and it looks dark brown, or I've been loving this dark shade in this mini Dior eyeshadow palette, and it's this dark brown. I don't ever use the brushes because I kind of like my fluffy brush better, but I'll just use the Dior for now. Obviously, if you just have a dark brown color, it'll work because it's all dark brown. But what I'm trying to do here is just barely touch the brown on the tip of the fluffy brush and put it kind of in the lower corner of my eye, and just kind of start doing very small circles, and then the last one I just go back and forth into my crease, and then it goes back into doing the little circles and then into the crease. And you can kind of see like the distinct line of the dark brown and the tan, but that's okay because we will blend that out. Okay, now that I feel like I've blended that out for like 12 million years, this is what the eyes should look like. And again, you can't really see like a big contrast between the dark color, the transition color, and the shimmer color. Next, we are going to move into eyeliner. Now, this is honestly something that I usually would never do. I'm using pencil eyeliner. Typically, I either do black and brown eyeshadow as eyeliner for brides whenever I do wedding looks if they want more natural looks, or I'll just do black liquid liner just because it makes a very sharp color. But I figured I'd start using this black liner, and honestly, this is just from Ulta. Like, it's from the Ulta Beauty line, and it's just in the shade Blackout. Very original. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go in and very lightly just kind of line my eye. So I'm going to go and start from the outside and kind of pull in to about halfway, because I want the thickest part of the line, I guess, to be on the outer half of my eye, not the inner half. And then I'm just going to very lightly, almost just kind of like tap the inside part of my eye to get a very thin line of this eyeliner. Because with liquid liner, you can be a lot more precise, but with pencil eyeliner, I feel like it's just a little bit chubbier, so it's harder to be more precise. And then I want to make it even thicker on this outward part, so I'm going to go back out, start a little bit higher, and do that. You see how that's just a little bit thicker than the normal? I'm going to keep kind of filling it in, and I don't want it to look chunky, like I want my lines to look fairly smooth. So I'm going to try and keep it in line with the rest of the liner. But then I'm just going to almost just kind of like dab the corner till it gets nice and thick like that. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this angled kind of brush, and there's nothing on this, and I'm just going to start taking the liner and pulling it and bringing it out, and then pulling it and bringing it out. And this will just kind of make it look a little bit more seamless. But as you can tell, it's starting to get a little bit lighter, but it's pulling the black liner out. And then I take it where the tip is facing the outside part of my eyebrow, and I pull inwards. That way it kind of looks like this wing-ish shape, but it's very light. And then since I pulled out all the black liner, it's not as thick anymore, I'm gonna kind of go over that part again till it gets dark again, until I have this kind of darkish look. Now, it's not like a sharp wing, it's kind of blended in, mainly because I used the brush, and the brush isn't gonna make it look very sharp, but that's kind of what I wanted, because whenever you put on mascara, then it'll just look a little bit more like, ooh, my eye is being nice and widened without it looking like you're wearing like thick black liquid liner. Alright, now that I've done the eyeliner on this eye, we are going to move on to eyebrows. Now, I used to use the Anastasia Brow Wiz little like pencil thing for the longest time, but then I switched to using a Morphe paint pot and just this little angled brush, and I've actually really liked it. It just looks like this inside, if you didn't know, and I just take the angled brush and kind of like go side to side and maybe even like dab it a bit. I don't even know if this is how you're supposed to do it, but this is how I do it. And we're gonna start on the bald eyebrow, which is this one. And I don't like fill in my eyebrows because, again, eyebrows are not a coloring book. I like to make them look like basic hairs, and so I just kind of do the simple lines to recreate hair-like strokes. And sometimes I found that I can do really good hair-like strokes while going up and with the grain of the hair, but then sometimes I'll go against it, so where I flip the brush backwards like this and have this side go first. So I'll show you whenever I do that, because sometimes for this bald eyebrow specifically, it just really helps me fill it in a little bit better. So like now, I will face it backwards and go right into the bald spot. And because I'm going against the grain, it actually kind of like lays it down a little bit better. But if you don't have bald eyebrows like me, you may not need to do this. So good for you. And then whenever I get to the center part, sometimes I go up, but other times I start where I want the hair to end, and I go downwards. And then I take the brush, and whenever I brush it, it kind of smooths out the lines so it doesn't look as harsh of line, since I know that I'm not going with the grain of my hair. And that's how I do that eyebrow. Then I just kind of go through it again, brush it out. If I have hairspray, I don't have any in here with me right now, I'll spray this and shake it a bit and then just go up with it, and that allows it to stay, but I don't do that every single day. Okay, but now that I have this eyebrow done, I'm gonna do this one off camera. Okay, now I'm not going to immediately move on to mascara yet because I want to do concealer first. And I've also started using a new concealer. This is the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer. As you can see, Radiant Creamy. And it's in the shade Vanilla because I'm pale. But I really love how this lays. Ooh, that's a lot. And I'm just gonna put it kind of like around my nose, obviously under my eyes, and then maybe on whatever spots that I feel like I need to cover up. But I love to wear this because honestly, I don't have to wear any other makeup, and if I just want to barely cover up a few things and call it a day, I can just put on this concealer and blend with my finger, and it blends into my skin so well and doesn't look like it's like a secondary color sitting on top of my skin. So I love that because I can wear it like on top of makeup like I'm doing right now, or I can wear no other makeup and just this, and it looks just as good. And I usually use like a thicker brush for clients whenever I do their concealer, but I really like blending this one with my finger just because, I don't know, I feel like it just like sets better. But as you can tell, it just brought so much brightness to my eye, which I like. I usually don't like concealers that make it look so bright under my eye that in photos my under eyes look white and the rest of my face looks like a normal color. I do not think that looks cute. This concealer does not do that, which I very much appreciate. Okay, and now that concealer's done, I'm going to move on to contour slash bronzer. Now you guys know that I love, if you watched any of my other YouTube videos, this has not changed, using the Fenty Beauty contour in Mocha. I love this stuff. This is just like my absolute go-to. I will always repurchase it because it is just, I don't know, it just blends so well and it looks so natural. And so I just use this brush by Eco Tools, and I lightly go over the little contour stick and then just kind of start where I know my cheekbone is and blend upwards. You never want the blend to go above and below your cheekbone because that kind of defeats the purpose of carving out the cheekbone. You want the darkest part to be like right on the shadow of your cheekbone and then everything else to blend above that. But even then, the part that is like your dark cheekbone isn't that dark. I feel like if it's too dark, it starts to look unnatural, like that's not her real cheekbones. So lighter is almost always better. I'm just bringing color to my face, but not like so much color that I look like I've been in the sun all day, because everyone knows I never see the sun. Okay, now that I've done that, I'm moving on to another new product. This is the ColourPop Blush Stix, S-T-I-X, and it's a cream blush, and I'm in love. I've been looking for a cream blush forever, and this color is so perfect, and it blends so well, and it actually stays. I feel like most blushes fall off so easy. I have no idea why. They just never seem to stay on for like anyone, but this stays really well. So I just take my 2 fingers, and it's very pigmented, so I don't put a lot on my fingers, and then I just use the 2 little fingers to dab and press into my skin. And yeah, I kind of like half smile every time I do blush, because it shows me where my cheekbones are and where the apples of my cheeks start and end. Whenever I'm flat, I'm like, don't know where I'm blending, but if I keep my face a little bit happy, you can see where I'd blush. Get it? Now I'm doing a little bit on the bridge of my nose just to give it a little bit of warmth. And there we go, that's blush. Sometimes whenever I put on blush, I feel like it makes my under eyes look super white bright. So that's why I like being able to put on a highlighter, because I feel like a highlighter will kind of like bridge the two and not make it look like such a stark contrast. So this is the Thrive Cosmetics Brilliant Eye Brightener. And yeah, I use it on my face because it's a highlighter. So highlighters can go on your eyes or on your cheeks, and I'm running out of this one, but I only like using this one because I used to use the Benefit Watts Up, but it's just a little bit too like champagne colored right now for my pale face, that it looks a little bit more bronzy. If I was tanner, it looks perfect over the summer, but because I'm getting more pale, this one matches my skin a little bit better. And then I just do the tip of my nose and right in between my eyes. Okay, and now that we have almost all of my makeup done, I'm going to finally do mascara. I started using this Too Faced Better Than Sex just because I got it for free at Ulta because I had enough rewards points. So I kind of have been liking it. I don't know, I feel like it's the kind of mascara where, you know, whenever you get, I don't know if you wear mascara often, but whenever you get like black dots like underneath your eyes from your lower mascara, this does that. Other mascaras that I've used recently don't do that. So I was kind of shocked because I think I've only ever used this once or twice before. But yeah, I was like, what? It's supposed to be the like #1 mascara right now. And it puts black marks underneath my eyes. I mean, when you put it on, it looks really pretty and like fluffy lashes, which I really like that look. So that's what I do like about it. I just don't like how like 5 hours after you put it on, you have black marks underneath your eyes. I don't know if everyone does that. Maybe it's the concealer that I'm using. I'm not sure. Because again, I kind of started using this mascara and then I started using this concealer. So I haven't tried a different concealer with this. But all I know is that it does that. Okay, now that I've done upper lashes, we're going to go back into eyeshadow, which sounds weird, but this is what I'm going to do for the under eyes now. I take a little bit of this brown eyeshadow that we used all over, and I'm just going to put that all the way around. If you didn't watch my last makeup tutorial, which was honestly a while ago, I haven't made a makeup video in forever, but I will link it in the description box. I talked about how for wedding makeup, people always say that they have dark circles because a lot of people do, and the best way to get rid of dark circles is not just a good concealer, but to take the attention away from the dark circles. And so if you do eyeshadow underneath and make that part dark, it takes the attention away from the darkness here and it puts it up here. And then it makes your under eyes instantly look less purple. Or at least I think it does. So I just did the brown all the way under, and then I'm going to take this dark brown and kind of pinch my brush just to get a little bit more precise, and only do it in like the outer half of my under eyes. And then, I usually never do this, but I started doing it recently and I liked it. I'm going to go back in with the black eyeliner pencil and just go in about halfway with my eyeliner. Usually I don't ever do under eyeliner, like I haven't in so long, but I started doing it. I did it for Halloween because our church had like a retro night for our students, and we all dressed up in either 80s or 90s clothes, and I was 80s and I looked just like my mother. And she told me that back then people used to just do eyeliner only on the bottom, which is personally like, what? Y'all really out here doing this? Blue eyeshadow and only bottom eyeliner? Okay. So I did it and it actually didn't look too bad. So I started incorporating it into my normal makeup look, which is eyeliner on top as well whenever I do eyeliner. So I just blend that in. Because it's a pencil, it will blend a lot better and it won't look as like straight liney as the liquid liner. But I do this, and then I'm gonna do bottom mascara, and then we will be done with our face and move on to lip colors. All right, now that I have done lower mascara, we are going to go on to lips. So either my go-to, which is always the MAC pencil in Whirl, and I either use the MAC lipstick in Jubilee or this Too Faced lipstick in Birthday Suit. But I've also recently been loving this Bare Minerals pink color. So I can't decide which one I will do. I guess I will go in with the pink today. This is in the shade Mantra. It's a cream lipstick. It's fairly pigmented, but it goes on a little bit thinner than what it is in the little tube. Okay, there we go. Now that is my fall/winter slightly glam makeup look, which is definitely a mouthful. But I'll probably honestly just be wearing this until the end of the year because it is perfect for holiday parties and just for like times whenever I want to look nice. Like I wore it whenever I did a presentation the other day for class. So I hope you guys like this and that you'll be able to use this for your own personal fall or winter makeup. Do not forget to like and subscribe down below, and I will see you guys next week for my next video.